Very good, very nice. Very good, very nice. What's up guys, I'm here with another video, welcome to episode 137. Let's build the city. Today we're building a church. Let's build a church.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own church for all of your city building needs. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button as it really helps me and the channel out very much. Here is the amount of space required to make your church. A 23 by 31 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make and encouraged to make if you are planning out your very own city. Here are all of the materials required to make your church. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well. Believe it or not, we are only missing a couple which we will grab later. Step 1, ladies and gentlemen, come all the way over to the front left-hand corner of your grid, if you've made it. From this corner, we count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then inwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where everything begins. Place a row of 5 light grey concrete going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. Extend to the right by 1. Dig a hole in the ground. This is going to signify where the door is going to go. And then on the opposite side of this hole, place 2 more light grey concrete going right. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Go to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend backwards now by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend towards you by 1. To the right by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, let's see if this is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
In 1, go to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we essentially have to make that exact same shape one more time. So we're actually going to extend to the right, and we're going to extend all the way to the right until we would line up with where we very first started. If that makes sense to you, you can see over there, we want this block to line up with the first block that we ever placed. We then want to take this block that lines up and extend it inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend outwards 1. And then extend forwards by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 1, and then extend right. So, you will know that you've done this correctly if it kind of looks like an outline of Squidward's house. It kind of does, right? I mean, it's not too far off. Well, now that we have accomplished this, I want you to grab the specifically specific smooth quartz block. And I want you to place a row of 3 quartz block extending upwards on this inward part of light grey concrete here on the right. So you want to do 3 rows, 1, 2, 3 rows of quartz block here on the right side, and also on the left side. specifically on these two rows. So 1, 2, 3, just like this. If you like, you can even do this on the back because it's equivalent. So on the back here, 1, 2, 3. You can kind of see how these two parts are very similar to each other. So 1, 2, 3, like this. So now that we have all of these rows of quartz, what I want you to do on the front, and we'll do this on the back also, by the way, is we want to take the 2 rows of 3 rows of smooth quartz, if that makes sense, and we want to place inward and upward quartz blocks that will eventually connect, if that makes sense, and we want to place inward and upward quartz blocks that will eventually connect to each other. So they will join to each other above where the entrance is. You'll be able to see that in just a second. So this is the shape that we're looking for. Easy peasy. We want to have the same thing on the back as well. There's a slight design difference on the back and the front, but if you just extend the blocks inwards and upwards and inwards and upwards, they will eventually connect together. I would recommend, if you don't know where they are going to connect, kind of do both sides in equal measure, and eventually they will just join at an apex like that. So again, easy peasy. So now that you've done that, on the back of the church, we'll do this first, right? We'll connect the bottom of the church together, right? You should hopefully be able to see where the middle of the back of the church is. It's here, so where the apex is, you just follow it down. On this middle block, I want you to place 1, 2, I'm so bad at placing glass, 2, 3, 4, we're looking for 5 black glass pane on top of each other. And then we want to take the 4th block and we want to extend it left and right to make a cross. Perfecto. You can then fill the rest of the back of the church in using smooth quartz. And that is pretty much that. There's only one window back here, and it's the... We might even turn this into a stained glass window as well, but we'll leave that up to you a little bit later on. But that's what we want to have on the back. Now, the front of the church is a tad bit more complicated, because of course, it's the entrance. It's meant to be a little bit more ornate and interesting. Okay. Let's add some windows. On the left and right sides, I want you to add a row of smooth quartz inwards, with then a row of glass inwards from there. The glass goes from the bottom to the top of the frame, so it should just be a row of 3 like this. We then want to add 2 more rows of quartz, 1, 2, to the right, and they want to extend from the bottom of the frame to the top of the frame, just like this. Perfect. When it comes to the inside portion of this, we only need 3 rows of quartz. 1, well, I guess I should have counted that, right? Like 1, 2, and 3, so 1, 2, 3 like this, 1, 2, 3. You guys hopefully get the idea, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, as big as the windows that we have left and right. This is what we want to have. Now, you see, the significance of this is we want to take...
Go away.
And we want to place upside down quartz. This is what we want to have. Now, you see, the significance of it, we only need 3 rows of quartz. 1, well, I guess I should have counted that, right? Like 1, 2, and 3, so 1, 2, 3 like this, 1, 2, 3. You guys hopefully get the idea, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, as big as the windows that we have left and right. This is what we want to have. Now, you see, the significance of this is we want to take that 3rd row and we want to place upside down quartz stairs, extending outwards from that 3rd row like this. You can even connect the top of the door frame together as well using a block of quartz like this. You'll need 2 rows of it. And then this outwards portion here, we're going to add a row of block of quartz, bridging the gap between the quartz stairs. And then you can choose to have, look, it's kind of up to you, right? So I've kind of chosen to have this plus-shaped window. It's vaguely sort of supposed to look like a cross. We actually ran out of room, so we can't place another cross. Well, you can. I can show you how to do it, but it just won't look as good. And it looks quite good solid as it is. But regardless of that, that is what the front will look like, and ultimately we will have a door here, but we'll be adding that a tad bit later. So now that we've done that, and honestly we're not looking too bad, we can add the tower. There is a large tower towards the front of the church. It's rather easy to make, but it means that we've got to locate two areas. Well, actually, you can pick this, right? Either side of the door. It literally does not matter which side of the door one chooses. It does not matter. I'm going to choose this right side. I want you to follow it up to the block of quartz that we have. So, right of the door, follow it up. This is the block of quartz at the top here. I want you to place a block of quartz behind this, and then on top of this, I want you to place 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block of quartz extending upwards, just like this. Now, I want you to do the same on the opposite side, which would be here. And then I want you to extend that upwards also by 5. So this is going to mark out the tower. Now, I'm not 100% sure that that is quite tall enough, so we will be doing that a little bit later. But it's important that it's marked out. And if you like, you can even add a solid row of... Whoops, my bad. You can even add a solid row of... that is quite tall enough. So we will be doing that a little bit later. But it's important that it's marked out. And if you like, you can even add a solid row of... Whoops, my bad. You can even add a solid row of quartz between them. So just to kind of like further signify that it's a tower. You can even make it 3D if you like. I don't know why we haven't done that yet, but you can take the top corners of the tower here and extend them back 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to make it a square, so 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this, right? We want to connect it together, and then you can go to some lengths if you like, because we'll more than likely be able to cover this up inside of the church, and if not, I mean, we can make alterations to the structure of it so that we can cover it up. You can connect it down. It'll actually make placing the roof a little bit easier, and it might also help you with a little bit of visualization and stuff. You know, sometimes it's a little bit easier to make something if you can see the design of it beforehand. So we're going to just leave it like that for now. But what else do we want to do? So the middle part of the church on the left and right sides, this is slightly different in the fact that it's a little bit larger. So this row of light grey concrete here, we want to have 5 rows of block of quartz on top of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want to have that present throughout the entire row of light grey concrete. It's, again, very easy, hopefully, quite structurally easy to build. And we want this on both sides, so only have to count this once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Easy, 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 easy. We have to add some windows to this as well, but we'll probably do that once we have just added, once we've added the roof. So, to join this together, it's actually the exact same process that we did earlier. We take the left and right sides of these two walls that we've created, and we extend the sides inwards and upwards and inwards and upwards. Do I have to say it again? Let's go for 3 times. Inwards and upwards until eventually it all joins together. Nice. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. We want to do the same thing again. Let's go for 3 times. Inwards and upwards until eventually it all joins together. Nice. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. We want to do the same thing on the front. As well, this will join to the tower, so just like this, and same on the other side here as well. It's important that this joins to the tower. We'll actually do the roof for the... Actually, as a matter of fact, this is how we know whether the tower on the front is big enough, right? So, this is the apex for the roof on the back of the church. If you stick a stone slab on here and extend that stone, so this is the apex for the roof on the back of the church. If you stick a stone slab on here and extend that stone slab forwards like this, perfect, This is the ideal size for the tower. The slab should just be half a row above it. So let's come back to the tower now. I know we're bouncing around, but hey, this is me. On top of the tower, I want you to place a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs going all the way around the top of the tower. This, I don't know what to call it other than perhaps like a lip, but this lip around the top of the tower signifies that that's kind of like the edge, that's the part that you would be able to walk on. I'm going to fill the top of this in using stone bricks, but it's almost irrelevant what you do fill it in with. And then, inside this, on the four corners of the square of stone bricks that you have created, you want to place rows of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, smooth quartz. So this is going to create almost like a little bell tower. You can even add a bell into it, although I haven't myself because you barely even be able to see it, but you could if you just really wanted to yourself. And if you didn't want to do that, just fill the top of it in, and then we will add a little bell later. Maybe we'll even like add a chain to it. So you'll be able to see it from some angles like this, but like that's fine. If you're on the ground, I guess you will be able to. But so anyway. When it comes to the top of this, we then want to add a row of... Let's get rid of the dark oak door, because we don't even need that. I don't know why we have it. Well, we do need it, but not yet. We want to use a row of smooth quartz slabs around the top of the tower here, just like this. Perfect. And then we're going to place stone bricks in the centre of each one of the 4 sides of the bell tower. We're then going to place stone brick stairs joining it together on the centre of each one of the 4 sides of the bell tower. We're then going to place stone brick stairs joining it together on the 4 corners. This is very important, like this. You can even fill this in if you like, but again, it's almost irrelevant because now that we've done this, we want to take the 3x3 square that is the centre of this tower, and we want to place 2 rows of stone bricks on top of it. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So we went all the way around, we placed a stone brick on the middle part of each tower. You can even place like an extra slab if you want on top of those, if you want to differentiate them from the surrounding stairs. And then you want to raise up the centre by 2 rows. And then we're going to raise up the centre again, but the centre by 2 rows, 1, 2. And then we're going to place stone surrounding stair. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So we went all the way around, we placed a stone brick on the middle part of each tower. You can even place like an extra slab if you want on top of those, if you want to differentiate them from the surrounding stairs. And then you want to raise up the centre by 2 rows. And then we're going to raise up the centre again, but the centre by 2 rows, 1, 2. And then we're going to place stone bricks surrounding it, like this, so we don't want to fill in the corners. And then ultimately, we want to take the middle and we want to extend it by a further 2, 1, 2, to create a steeple. I think that's a term for it, like a pointy roof or a spire perhaps. And then on top of this, we then want to place 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 cobblestone wall. Take the one away from the top and extend it left and right by 1. So, in the end, you will get this very fancy, very luxurious cross atop the steeple or spire. I think it's a steeple when it comes to a church, although I don't know my church architecture as well as I should do. Oh well. So now that we've done this, what we can now do is we can add some windows to the sides of the build, and then we can add the roof, and then we can add the surrounding area, and then we can move on to the inside. So, when it comes to the left and right sides of your church, it's actually rather easy to add the windows. The windows occupy the 3 middle rows of... Actually, that's the wrong road to knock out. They occupy the 3 middle rows of smooth quartz, so 1 away from the top, 1 away from the bottom. The windows are 2 rows away from each other as well, so 2 rows away from the side, they're in the middle, 2 rows away from each other, 2 rows away from each other, 2 rows away from each other. You'll have 3 windows in total, with a gap of 2 between each of them. They sit in the middle of the wall in the kind of like the Y coordinate, and that is what they look like. So easy, hopefully. So on this opposite side, once again, 1 away from the top, 1 away from the bottom, 2 rows away from each other and from the sides, and you will get a nice set of evenly spaced windows, which I would recommend filling in with some black glass pane. but that's just me. It just seems to go. If you want, and we will try this at the end of the video if you like as well, we can make it colourful using some stained glass, which would make even more sense perhaps. Okay, the roof. I mean, the roof is actually so easy, like incredibly easy. You got two components to this, three really, but two are the same as each other. On the front and the back, we add rows of stone brick stairs that sit on the side of the frame of the roof here, on the front and the back. It kind of like sits on the side of the triangle that we have on the front and the back, just like this, right? The roof wants to overhang the front of the church by one row, just like this. It's actually the same that you would make any roof. If you wanted to make it look nice, just using one material, then you would do pretty much any roof this way. You would overhang it and upside down stairs underneath the overhang, just like this, extending all the way up to the top. All the upside down stairs like this. Perfect. And then, hopefully a little bit of common sense, you then extend all the upside down stairs like this. You would do pretty much any roof this way. You would overhang it and upside down stairs underneath the overhang, just like this, extending all the way up to the top. All the upside down stairs like this. Perfect. And then, hopefully a little bit of common sense, you then all the upside down stairs like this. Perfect. And then, hopefully a little bit of common sense, you then extend the stairs backwards and the stairs will connect to actually nothing in this particular case, but you can add this in after, so like you connect it to thin air. But then we can add some quartz in after the fact, and we want to do the same here as well on this side, but the middle part of the roof as well, again, it's the same thing. So the stairs on the side, I'm just going to do the outer frame of this, and then I think I'll actually speed it up, because I don't really want you guys to have to suffer through me making the entire roof, because it's rather large, and it's rather easy as well. So we'll just add in the frame. We'll add in the upside down stairs, all of that. We'll make it look fancy, but to filling in the roof, and when it comes to the back roof also, because that's already been done once before, I think that we should be good. So there we go, you can see that that's how the edge of the roof wants to look, right? Same thing when it comes to the back, because the two roofs, like the lower roof and the larger roof, they never come into contact with each other. You can have the fancy stairs hanging underneath and stuff, and it won't get in the way. You'll actually have a nice little gap, and it looks quite nice because it's quite a contrasting materials and shape, so it actually looks better for it as well. So you can see how, I mean, we've done that side and we've done we're doing the back, and once you join all of the roofs together as well, so like when you eventually do this one and join it, you'll have to add probably some, you'll have to say, like here for instance, you'll have to add an you could even preemptively I'm doing now, add in an extra quartz as you go. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm now going to do, because hopefully that kind of demonstrates to you how you do the roof, it all just we've done half of it literally, we just have to do the other half. I'm going to speed this next part up with me doing the roof, and then we can continue on. We'll actually be working on the kind of like the outer grounds after this, so that's going to be cool.
At Solarheart, we're proud to be leading Australia's solar charge, helping smart Aussies make a real difference to the planet, cutting their energy bills and connecting them to their smart energy future. Get smart, get Solarheart.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Mr. McGee.
I believe that we have done all of the roof now. So hopefully that should...
Scotch if the roof's done. It's done. The roof's done. Look at this, guys. Look at that. We're doing a lot of work on our church. Let me know how it looks. It looks really nice. I really like it. So far, it looks awesome.
But you'll probably have to pause the video for yourself. Make sure that you have completed all of the routes as I have, and once you have got them all filled in, it should be really, really easy. We can work on the outer grounds of the church. So, what do we need when it comes to the outer grounds of the church? I'm trying to work this out for myself right now. We need some light grey concrete. We need diorite wall, a material that I'm falling in love with for some reason. We need a shovel. We need need some soul lanterns. I only... put that together. It's kind of fun that we're using soul lanterns at the church. White tulips, jungle leaves, flower pots, and... we might not need too much. Oh, we need a terracotta. And I'll tell you what, we will leave it at that. So, when it comes to the outside of the church, we are going to place light grey concrete on the two front corners of the grids. We also want to have light grey concrete on the two front corners of the grids. We also want to have light grey concrete corresponding to where the left and right side of the entrance. Light grey concrete on the two front corners of the grids. We also want to have light grey concrete corresponding to where the left and right side of the entrance is. It wants to look like this. We want to have a row of 3 grass in between, like, we want to have a row of 3 clear grass in between the 2 posts of light grey concrete. We want to be able to have a grass path that leads us from the centre to the inward part of the church, with soul lanterns on either side. And again, that seems somewhat symbolic now that I've called them soul lanterns. I completely forgot that's what they were called. I want to have 2 rows of 3 terracotta underneath the front 2 windows, right in the middle. I'm going to place flower pots on the terracotta, and I'm going to fill them with white tulips. I just like them. You can feel free to add any flower that you like. On the sides of the church, I want to have rows of leaves. The leaves are going to kind of go all the way around the edge of the middle part of the church, and then I'm going to also have white tulips, but again, feel free to change flower. Kind of like extending along the rows of light grey. If you want, you can even wrap the tulips around the back of the church like this. And we want to have the exact same thing on both sides as well with the leaves. So I know that I placed too many tulips, by the way, but we'll be coming back to this. I think that it just makes it look a little bit nicer. It's very, very simple as well, which I want, because I don't really want to detract from the shape of the church too much. I want that to be the complete centre focal point. We're going to have diorite wall in between all of the light grey concrete. I should have also mentioned that we want to have 2 light grey concretes on, well, 1 light grey concrete on the back 2 corners. Of the grids like this. So we want to have wall extending to light grey concretes on each one of the 4 corners, essentially, like so. And I don't really want I don't even actually mind white concrete underneath the walls, because I don't want grass. So you could have white concrete underneath the wall, you could have light grey. White's actually fine by me. I don't mind that at all. I think that looks quite nice. We're going to have a path. The path is going to go all the way around the church. So concrete underneath the walls, because I don't want grass. So you could have white concrete underneath the wall, you could have light grey. White's actually fine by me. I don't mind that at all. I think that looks quite nice. We're going to have a path. The path is going to go all the way around the church. So essentially, the path, that was quite nice. We're going to have a path. The path is going to go all the way around the church. So essentially, the path is going to be one row in between the wall, and one row. It's going to be one row from the wall, and one row from the church as we extend around. So that might not be obvious as we look at it. And I guess that we've just got 2 rows at the front here, but that's perfectly fine. But you can see that on the left side we've got the hedge here, so that's 1 row and 1 row, and it is persistent throughout the entire outside of the church. It just looks nice, it looks clean. I really like how that ends up looking, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is essentially the outside of the church complete.
The outside isn't done yet. I'm going to make some leaves all the way around the church. It looks weird with a little gap there, but I don't really care. Anyway, I'm gonna make a path. No, not that path. I mean, smooth stone. Also replace under the wall as well. So, guys, got a little bit of a headache, but anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment if you've made this before. I did, but not in this series. I was not expecting to get the roof correctly, because look at it. The church is freaking massive, bro. That is massive. There's a lot of crosses on the roof. I might add that in a little bit.
Very, very happy with that, and hopefully too. Which means we have to work on the inside of the church, and I just had to adjust my buttons there so I can see what I'm doing. And let's head inside now, because there's a lot of work to be done in here. So first of all, we're going to have to do some. What's the best word for this, really? Like, we're going to have to tune up some of these structures. So first of all, we're going to have to do some. What's the best word for this, really? Like, we're going to have to tune up some of the structure of the inside of the church. To do this, we're going to be using light grey concrete, all of the quartz, so smooth quartz blocks, smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz slabs. What else do we need? Maybe even a little bit of pillar quartz block. We need these stairs, we need like the stone brick stairs as well, and the stone bricks. Maybe even a little bit of pillar quartz block. We need these stairs, we need like the stone brick stairs as well, and the stone bricks. And I've just realised something that we should add to the outside. So what I'm going to also recommend is grabbing some stone brick slab and some stone brick wall. Something that I want you to add, or what I would recommend adding, because I mean it's up to you. The roofs, we have 3 kind of like apexes of the roof that we have opportunities to add crosses on. So it looks all fine and well now. I like how it looks, but this is a personal choice. On the corners of the roof, you might want to add a slab, and then you might want to create a cross using. Basically, I'm just using like 3 stone brick wall here, and then I'm making the middle of the wall. I'm extending that to the left and right. I don't want to make it any higher because I don't want to interfere with the shape of the inside of the bell tower. But I'm going to do that on the front, and I'm going to do that on the back, and I think it will look quite good. On the back it doesn't matter as much, like you can make it a bit higher if you want, but I feel as though for continuity we will keep it all the same. We'll have the rows of 3, and I know it kind of looks like just a ball shape, it doesn't look exactly like a cross, but I think it looks enough like a cross that I think that you'll understand the vibe that we're going for. I think it does add a little something, it adds a little volume, and it adds a little something else to the church. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. Anyway, coming back to the inside now that we've done that. So the church really is only 2 parts on the inside. We've got kind of like the altar area, and we've kind of got, well, the seating area. The pews, are they called? Oh no. So, The altar area is all the way at the back of the church, where we have the giant cross in the back. I'm going to recommend that we seal up, or as a matter of fact, okay, yeah, it is this block. So I'm going to recommend that we basically just connect the back of this together. So a row of smooth quartz block joining the kind of like sticky in part of the build. Behind this, we're going to fill it in using light grey concrete, like.
Hey, villagers. Please just get out. Get out, please. I'm working in my church. Thank you.
That's perfect. I'm going to take these corner blocks here and I'm going to turn them into smooth quartz. And then on the left and right side, I want you to do this. So we're going to have a row of 1, 2, 3, destroy 2 blocks and replace them with stairs. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, destroy 2 blocks and replace them with stairs. I'm then going to extend on the inward side here, or more so on the outward side of the stairs, I'm going to have a row of smooth quartz that extends from next to the stair all the way up to the ceiling like this. So that's perfect. There has to be an altar, and by the way, I'm also going to, the area in between these 2 sets of stairs, destroy, turn into grey concrete. The altar is very simple. I think that I'm going to have a solid. Actually, I want to make sure that I get this correct. I think that. Oh, okay, this is what it is, right? So, on the left and right sides, we want to have kind of like just smooth quartz slabs, kind of like floating. But in the middle, an upside down smooth quartz there, so you kind of get that floating platform sort of feel. I really like that. I think that that's pretty cool. So we're actually going to leave that as it is because this is kind of like the altar area and we can easily decorate this a little bit later. Although, if you use your pillar quartz block, if you leave a gap of 2 between like where the window of the cross is, so leave a gap of 2 and then place pillar quartz, gap of 2 and then pillar quartz just like here, that will set us up a little bit later as well. It's also worth marking out that where we have kind of like these gaps on the left and right, if you start from the bottom of the gap here and you extend upwards like 1, 2, so here, I want you to place 2 sets, or just 1 set of 2 upside down smooth quartz stairs extending towards you. You can even have them extending inwards as well, and you can join them together using smooth quartz slabs. So again, we're kind of like just framing the area a little bit more as well. Inside the altar area, I'd also recommend adding upside down stone brick stairs to the like under part of the roof, just to give it a bit of shape. It just makes it feel a little bit better in here. I haven't 100% figured out whether it's going to, whether we're then going to cover it up. Like, I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So, I don't mind leaving it exposed like that because I feel as though they almost adds a little bit of intrigue. I sort of like it. I don't mind having it open because they're not supposed to be perfect by any means, I don't think. I mean, they're supposed to be a little bit older and a little bit more like interesting architecturally, but we can figure that out a little bit later on. So, what else do we want to do? So when it comes to the centre of the church, where all of the seating area is, or whatever you would call it, we want to also kind of like section an area off as well. So where the church again starts to like stick out a little bit, like the opposite side of like the middle part of the church, we want to extend this light grey concrete inwards here. We want to extend it 1, 2, 3, and then 4, like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to have a middle row of 3 that we're able to just like walk through the entire church like the aisle. We're going to turn this central block here into a block of quartz. We want to have the same rows of quartz as of quartz in these rows that we have over there. So we want to connect these up to the ceiling in the same manner and in the same place as we do here. So this to this, and it should even look similar. So that's pretty cool. We want to now add a couple of rows. We want to add a row of stone brick stairs in front of each of the row of smooth quartz. So row of stone bricks, leave a gap, and then stone bricks on both sides.
Move, you stupid villager.
One, and then we want to have a row of smooth quartz block, just like this. In front of this, we then want to have another row of stone bricks, gap of one, and then another row of stone bricks. Feel free to change the stairs into a different colour if you like. If you prefer like wooden seats, feel free. But I really like the colour scheme. I think it's really, really simple, and as a result of that, I think it looks really nice. What else do we want to have? So.
Very good, very nice. Very good, very nice.
Like in the middle, so like where we have the extra row of quartz, we want to add an extra pillar of smooth quartz here, and an extra pillar of smooth quartz here, extending all the way up to the ceiling. Perfect. So, as a matter of fact as well, you know how we added the smooth quartz slabs earlier to the stairs? Well, we don't quite want to do it that way. The smooth quartz slab wants to actually sit on top of the stairs like this to create an arch, and we're going to anywhere that it would be feasible for the pillars and the stairs to connect together with like rows of slabs and stuff. We want to join it all together. So we've got it in the front here, and we have this bed that sticks out. So we want to create a little archway here in between like the front half of the pillar and the actual altar, and also the back half of the pillar and the front of the church. We want to add this, and we also want to have the smooth quartz slabs. Again, it's a bit of an architectural. Like, I noticed that there's always like loads of curves and arches and stuff when it comes to churches, and that's why we have one at the entrance as well. It just seems to be that way. So I guess it's a structural thing, but I also think it looks really nice. It sort of add something, like it almost makes it feel grander. I don't know, makes it a little cozier. I'm not quite sure. It definitely feels different though. When it comes to the front of the church, where we have the entrance area here, I'm basically just going to add, just directly behind where the entrance is, I'm just adding enough smooth quartz that it turns it into a bit of a box area, just like this. And then I'm also going to fill just up above this window in here, using some smooth quartz too. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Like, we don't have to be able to look all the way up to the top of the bell tower. What I do want to have though, and maybe we should have done this first, whilst it would have been easier, but hey, what can you do, right? I mean, who would have known how this was going to go? I'm going to place rows of stone brick stairs underneath the overhanging. Not overhanging, I don't know what I'm talking about. Underneath the actual stone brick stairs for the roof. And again, it just makes it look a little bit better. Plus, makes the pillars that we place underneath the actual stone brick stairs for the roof. And again, it just makes it look a little bit better. Plus, it makes the pillars that we placed earlier, not literally made out of pillar quartz, but it makes the pillars that we placed earlier look as though that they are more integrated into the actual building. So when we place it, like, you can see the difference. Like, it makes it look as though that it's really structurally integral to the build. Or at least, I think that. But what do I know? So, here, perfect. So, yes, that is looking pretty good. We could add a couple of rows of smooth quartz here. That's not too bad. If we wanted to, we can kind of... Oh, we've also got to extend these stairs as well at the front. Almost forgot about these because it's a very small row. And then we can kind of like figure out how to just integrate them, because it's again, I don't mind having kind of like the exposed stairs, kind of like how we do over there, row. And then we can kind of like figure out how to just integrate them, because it's again, I don't mind having kind of like the exposed stairs, kind of like how we do over there and over here. Like, I almost think it makes it look a little bit more interesting. I quite like that. I'm semi-tempted to add another row, although I didn't do this on the original. I'm semi-tempted to add another row here, because then it kind of like hides that. But then, if we've got this at the front, it almost makes it look a little bit more special. So I'm quite tempted to just leave that. I think that this looks fine. I'm quite happy with it. Perhaps if we wanted, we could add. I don't know, maybe just, yeah, maybe just like an upside down quartz stair in each corner. I mean, we could have it, we could extend it up if we want, we could turn it into, yeah, maybe just like an upside down quartz stair in each corner. I mean, we could have it, we could extend it up if we want, we could turn it into, I mean, that almost looks a little bit more interesting. I don't mind that. That looks okay. So I've just added a couple of stairs just to kind of like vary the shape of it. Quite happy with that. What about around here? So it might be cool if we also like add an upside down smooth quartz stair here and here, like behind the back of the pillars, and then have smooth quartz slabs extend across and join to the top of the windows, and then across like this, and then pillars, and then have smooth quartz.
Sorry if I'm doing that, guys. Anyway,
slabs.
What do we do now? Since we've done that.
Top of the windows, and then across like this,
And that.
and
There we go.
here, and then here. I'm almost tempted to sort of like, I want to see what did I do originally. So originally what I did was I chunked out the two corners of this. I made it look a little bit. Actually, yeah, okay. So I chunked out the two corners of this here. This wasn't as bulky, as a matter of fact. So I guess, what if we take this out? Because I'm not 100% happy. What if we take out all of this extra quartz? I think that this might actually look a little bit better. We'll have the smooth quartz slabs run. Across the top of this. Maybe even have another row here so that it all just joins together a little bit better. That's actually looking pretty good. What about, can we open this up at all? So we're going to open up like around the window here as well, have it a bit more open, and maybe what we could do is we can have some more of the exposed stone bricks. I'm sorry that this has almost been an experiment. We can have some more exposed stone bricks here, and exposed stone bricks. I'm sorry that this has almost been an experiment. We can have some more exposed stone bricks here, and exposed stone bricks here. And what about when it comes to the top? We've got to have this here, and then what if we have just another row then? So we'll add just another row of upside down stone bricks like this, and then we can just run a row of stone brick slabs just up at the top here, and maybe we can just leave it at that. Yeah, that almost seems a little bit better, to be quite honest. And then we can just run a row of stone brick slabs just up at the top here, and maybe we can just leave it at that. Yeah, that almost seems a little bit better, to be quite honest. It feels a little bit more open. It feels a little bit cleaner, a little bit less boxy. I quite like that. Okay, on either side of the door, just in these corners, I'm going to place pillar quartz block. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the red concrete. I'm going to grab what else? Oh, and the door, and then we'll sort everything else out. Actually, you know what? We'll grab jungle leaves as well. We'll grab the lectern. We'll grab the book and quill. End rod, soul torch, loom, smooth quartz stair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out the floor and I'm going to replace it using red concrete. So this shouldn't be too big of a task, or too large of a task, because we've got all of the seats and stuff in. We've already got like behind the altar, that's already filled in with long grey concrete. Red just seems to go, so here. But this was my logic and rationale, and I don't know why. Like, whenever you see like people get married and like walking down the aisle and stuff, like it almost always seems to be like a red carpet, right? Or at least it does in my mind. So hence, I decided to use red concrete. I could have used red carpet. I know what you're thinking. That would have even made more sense. Nah, I think that I really like the concrete. There's a certain texture that the concrete gives that I like more so over the wood, and I don't know, I just like it a little bit more. It's a little bit more vibrant as well. It's like a solid block colour rather than like the wool where it's almost like, I wouldn't say muddy, but like I like the texture of it better, and I think you might agree that red really does like have a striking, it makes a striking difference, I think. All the way up at the top of the altar here, I'm going to it's a little bit more vibrant as well. It's like a solid block colour rather than like the wool where it's almost like, I wouldn't say muddy, but like I like the texture of it better, and I think you might agree that red really does like have a striking, it makes a striking difference, I think. All the way up at the top of the altar here, I'm going to place a lectern. It with a book and quill, so that is obviously like a little podium that whoever would read from. We're going to place jungle leaves on top of the pillar quartz blocks. We have these at the front and the back of the build. Left and right of the altar as well, I want to find these specific positions. It might even be like left and right of the lectern, or it might be here. I can't actually tell from this image that I've taken, but the idea was to have like end rods and soul torches like next to. You can't place soul torches on end rods in this version. Well, that's severely annoying. I'm going to be honest with you. You can in Java, but apparently you cannot in Bedrock. So I guess that the alternate to that is just to stack the end rods 2 rows high, and it just kind of looks like candles. Another alternate is to use, instead of soul torches, since apparently you can't place them in this version, is to use some sort of fence. It doesn't matter which, to be quite honest, it's up to you. The reason that I'm going with dark oak is because we've got a little bit of it coming up in the build. There we go, we have an altar. It looks better with the end rolled with soul torches, I'm going to be honest with you, but apparently we can't do that. Just underneath and in the middle of this little window at the back here, I'm going to have a set of 3 looms. Smooth quartz stairs behind that is just like an organ or a piano that so we can play some music. I'm going to place some dark oak signs around the chair here just to make it look a little bit different, integrate it into the area a little bit more. We're also going to have some dark oak signs around the chair here just to make it look a little bit different, integrate it into the area a little bit more. We're also going to have some dark oak signs on the sides of the, again, whatever the seating area is called specifically. I have a feeling that it's called pews, but I might have made that up, I don't know. I'm going to add some soul lanterns. Now, yeah, I think I'm going to use soul lanterns for this.
Yeah. Alright. Guys, my dinner's ready, so I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next episode of Let's Build the City. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.